Just how much money is there in the world and what is it actually worth? Hello there, my name is Thomas Krallo and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all things trading, finances and money in general. Now today we have a really special topic, and that is how much money is there in the world and what is it actually worth. Now I can tell you right away that there is a lot of money, probably a lot more money than you can imagine. Now let's begin by the M0. Now M0 is the astronomical amount of money that is in cash right now all over the world, and that number is $7.6 trillion. Now if you think about it, that's 7.6 million millions. That's a lot of money, right? A lot of people think that $1 million is unachievable and a lot of money. How does 7.6 million of millions sound? That's how much cash there is in the world. And the next number is M1. And this is the number that you get when you add all the money that is in the bank accounts to the total amount of cash, so M0. And that number grows from 7.6 trillion to about $37 trillion. So once again, that's 37 million millions. That's a lot of cash. Now, but that's not it yet. And there is also M2. So what is M2? M2 is basically taking M0 and M1 and adding the rest of the money. So something that is perhaps in some long-term investments like bonds or some bank deposits, funds and stuff like that. So basically the money that is not easily withdrawable. So something that you cannot just go to the bank and withdraw that very quickly. So when you factor this money into the general amount of money, you'll get $90.4 trillion. So this is basically the amount of money in the world. Now, as a funny fact, if you take this amount of money in the $100 bill equivalent and lay it out on the floor, you'll be able to circle the world 3,500 times. Let that sink in for a second. Imagine that amount of paper. It's unbelievable. So basically, yeah, there is a lot of money in the world. And if you think about it, then you can see a trading station behind me with a bunch of different markets. And each screen, well, pretty much this bigger screen contains 6 different markets, and then the upper ones have 2 markets each. Each single one of these markets has about up to $100 billion floating through it on a daily basis. Now there is a huge number of different markets around the world and in general in the world economy, and the amount of money that is going through those markets on a daily basis is simply staggering. Now when you know these numbers, does it really seem so unrealistic for somebody to make, let's say, 500,000 per year or $1 million per year? $1 million, when you actually compare it to these kinds of crazy numbers, the astronomical numbers that we've just discussed, $1 million seems like nothing, like a grain of sand, literally. For some reason, people tend to think that $100,000 is a lot of money. Well, yes, it is for 99% of people. But then there is 1% of people who actually understand the value of money and the amount of money in the world. And they know that $100,000 is nothing. $1 million is nothing. $100 million, that's getting to more, interesting numbers. But still nothing. $1 billion, yeah, that's quite a challenging number to achieve. But a couple million per year, not that very difficult. So now you know how much money there is in the world. Now the question is, how much is it actually worth? Right, we've established that there is about $90 trillion in the world. But is it actually worth something? And this has been eye-opening for myself. Now, by the latest data, the world debt in general, first let's talk about what is world debt. Now, this number consists of money that is owed by individuals, corporations, and governments. So that is basically the money that was once borrowed by somebody or something to do something else and pay a certain interest on that loan. And this total number is roughly at around $233 trillion. So if we take all the money that there is in the world and use it to pay all the debts, we will still be short $142.6 trillion. So going back to the question, how much those $90 trillion are actually worth? And quite honestly, they are worth nothing. And there might be a day when money stops existing completely and something else will replace it, because this cannot keep going on in the way that it's going on. It's just a huge paradox. The same thing goes for trading. When everything in the world is unstable, the economy is bad, everything is crashing, but the markets are climbing, this is just some unexpected, ridiculous bull run. This is a paradox. Some people make money on it, sure, but that's more of insider trading kind of thing. And for me, for a retail simple trader, it is quite difficult to predict these kinds of market movements. So I stay away from these kinds of paradoxes. And what is happening in general in the world economy is complete bullshit. I'm sorry, I had to say this word. It is a paradox and it's gonna end at some point, and it's not gonna be a pretty picture. By the way, click the link in the description and register for my next free trading webinar. There might be one available on demand, so you might be able to watch it right away. So go ahead and click the link down in the description and check it out. And as always, thank you very much for your time, for your attention. Please like the video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next videos. Stay smart.